Hey there, it's Kimberly here with Them for Brains. Here we go again. I am actually very excited. This is coming into us. What do you think it is? I think it's Project Welcome Home. So stay tuned. Let's see what's inside. Project Welcome Home is back with a vengeance, friends. It's probably not going to be as crazy as it was last year, but we are making Granny Square blankets for not only the residents at Ridgeview, which is the retirement home where I teach yoga. If you're like, I wasn't a part of your crew, your tribe last year, I don't really know what you're talking about, then please go and check out the playlist on this channel, Project Welcome Home. You can see everything that I'm talking about. Last year, we received over 1,600 Granny Squares from across the United States and into Europe. Crazy. And out of those, my mom, aka Mumsy, and she became a part of the show, we put together over 40 blankets that we then delivered to the residents at this retirement home so that each resident got, make sure I'm not cutting through, each resident got a brand new Granny Square blanket, like a lap blanket, to show them that they were loved and cared for. And so people were like, are we doing that again this year? I'm like, oh, yes, we are. Yes, we are. Now, the caveat is I don't know where we're going to be giving them away. The Brit and I are not going to be around for the holidays this year. So I think we're going to do it, and I'm okay with this. I hope you guys are too. We're going to do it in January because honestly, the people that received the blankets last year, they still have them. They still have them. I still see them. I see them on their laps. I see them on their wheelchairs when they're in the library reading, when they're watching TV. I see them in their rooms. And we've only gotten like maybe a couple new residents, not that many. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the Granny Square blankets. We're going to give them to the residents. But there's also, and this one's really sweet too, there is a skilled nursing facility that is attached to the assisted living. So there's people there that they're more transient because they're coming and going. And so they also need blankets. So I'm going to be giving them to the same facility, and then we're going to be just distributing them to either the skilled nursing facility, which can be anybody. It can be anybody of any age, older person, younger person, whatever, which I think is really cool. And as well as anybody who is new at Ridgeview. So these came in to us from Linda Jabowski. And Linda was one of my star players last year. She sent in a bunch of Granny Squares, and apparently she was chomping at the bit to send in more. And so, boom, here we go. Let's take a look and see what we've got. So thank you, Linda. Oh, pretty. Okay. I remember this yarn from last year, and that turned out a gorgeous blanket. Absolutely gorgeous blanket. Oh, and she included some cards. So let's take a look inside here and see. Oh, okay. So some people, they got so excited about this. Look at these. Oh my gosh, I love these. That not only did they send in the Granny Squares, but then they also sent in the cards, which go with the Granny Squares. And would you believe, I actually used up all the cards that I got last year. I have no more cards. So thank you, Linda. She sent in some more cards. And it's funny because I remember I used all the cards that you sent me last year because I remember these and they're so adorable. They're just little blank cards. And then we would write inside of them, you know, you're loved, or just know that you're loved and you're thought of. And then she's got the little envelopes that go along with it. Linda, I tell you, friend. And then I remember these. Okay. And it had little stickers that go along with it. But last year, I loved these, and she included these little Maxines. Nothing like a martini to put me in the mood for another martini. Always keep a song in your heart. Mine is Beat It. The last time I sprang into action was when my recliner malfunctioned. How cute. Okay, these people, they would totally appreciate these. So I'm going to put one of these in each one of the cards. Well-behaved women rarely make histories or decent margaritas. That is a very true statement. That's a very true statement. Only one thing keeps me from staying on my diet, and that is food. Who doesn't love Maxine? Maxine is awesome. Maxine speaks the truth. Don't tell me that you haven't ever had a thought where like, oh, and you really wanted to say something that was very Maxine-like, but you didn't. Or maybe you did, and I love you for that. But Maxine, she's the best. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen, and nobody knows I caused most of it either. Throwing a pie. Yes, please. I have my own full phone feature. I call it call ignoring. Yes. My recipe for happiness: 1 man, 1 woman, and 2 TVs. We may or may not have that situation in our house. I'm just saying. The Britt and I, we watch a lot of TV together, but occasionally there are times when I'm like, I really want to watch The Gilded Age, and he really wants to watch Star Trek or some kind of sci-fi fantasy or something like that. Or I want to watch a classic and he wants to watch another kind of classic like Star Trek from circa 1962. So then we usually go to different rooms. Anyways, I digress. Linda, love these. Love the purples. Oh, and I love what you got else going on in here. But I'm putting these back in here. All nice. Now, if you're curious about these, you can take a look at the playlist. But what we're asking for are 6-inch squares. And that is exactly what these are. 100% acrylic to make them easy and washable. And then what happens is we sew them together. It takes about 42, I think it was like 42 squares that made the perfect size blanket. And then Mumsy and I, we get together and we sew, and she'll be so happy that it's happening. And Linda sent a little card. So I'm opening up this little card. I love you, Linda. Thank you so much. Just a little note. Hi, Kimberly. Hope all is good with you and the Brit. See, he doesn't think that people care. I said, you have a following, friend. You do. I'm sending this package early because I'm in the process of, selling your house and moving. Ooh, that's exciting. I hope that's exciting. I'm enclosing note cards, and like the last time, if you could fill them out, I would appreciate it. Yes, of course. Of course I will do that. I'm happy I found your channel, and I really enjoy it. I really enjoy you, Linda. Thank you so much. Take care, Linda. And you know what? You comment quite a bit, and I always try to make a point of responding to every comment that comes in. I really, really try, even if it's a thumbs up, but I really try to give more than a thumbs up if I absolutely can. If I'm short on time, I'll make do a thumbs up, and then I'll come back to it or something. Even if it's a comment that maybe isn't very nice, I'll still respond. And I don't get very many not very nice comments, which I find surprising sometimes. I'm like, you guys are so nice. People are just like super nice. Now, these squares are going to go to Project Welcome Home. That, I will say, I will tell you that there is another Granny Square project that is on the horizon. And if you are like, you know what, creating all those Granny Squares is just way too daunting for me, fear not, I have another idea for you. Our friends, my dear friends over at Ophire, they have been growing and busting at the seams, and we could not be happier about that. But as a result, they had to move into a larger space, a warehouse space. And as a result, apparently they've got one big wall that has nothing on it. And what they're looking for are Granny Squares from us to put on their wall and decorate one whole wall in Granny Squares. How great would that be? So what I want to do is collect Granny Squares from as many of you as possible. And I'm only asking for like one, and they only have to be 6-inch squares. 6-inch squares. They don't have to be big, and you don't have to include a bazillion either. You can just mail them over to me, and I'm going to send them in one big box over to Ophire, and it's going to be the Kimberly with Knit for Brains wall and friends, and we're all, I mean, anybody can do it, but how fun would it be if I could say, all of these came from my peeps on my channel. So if you're interested in doing that, you can send in the Granny Squares to the same place. And if you send me one Granny Square, I'll pretty much figure out like, okay, you want to do it for the Ophire wall, or you can just put it like in a little envelope. I don't care how it comes to me. And you can even put on the outside, like, you know, Ophire wall or something like that. Okay. And then I'll figure it out. All right. These other ones came from Linda. Gorgeous Linda. Love these. So these are purples and pinks. Now, I'm not counting them all out, but I do believe, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and count them out. 1, 2, 14. So this is enough more than enough, I think, to make a blanket, because that was one stack of 14 times 4. More than enough to make a blanket. And if all things being equal, if this also has like 14, that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So probably each one of these is going to equal a blanket, which is fantastic. Thank you, Linda. Thank you. Thank you, Linda. So not only, oh no, but there's more. But there's more. There's another bag in here. I love these colors. Linda, I remember putting this together last year, and I was like, I love this blanket. I might even, let me see here. These cards, and Linda, I'm going to just tell you right now, I was remiss in sending them out, but you are going to get my first one. These cards were pictures of what we did last year, some of the blankets that we gave out last year. And the recipients. Oh my God. And this lady right here, she's like, I got the prettiest one. I was like, okay, you did. We're not going to tell her. They were all gorgeous. Let's see, but I'm trying to find, because Linda, I know, just fell off my phone. I know that I had a picture. I just can't find it right here. All the squares that you comprise, that you put together. I'll have it. But anyways, this is going to Linda, and these are going to Project Welcome Home, and they're just lovely. They're just lovely. So again, if you guys are interested in contributing, we're looking for acrylic. Doesn't have to be fancy. 6-inch squares. Please just do a 6-inch square, because it really helps us, because everything then fits together. You can send in as many as you want. You don't have to send in 3 blankets full like Linda did. You can send in a couple. And if you only just want to send in 1 or 2 and you want me to go up into the Ophire wall, you got it. I'm on it. I will do that. And that would be really cool too, wouldn't you think? Anyways, so these all came in for Project Welcome Home. Linda, thank you so much. As soon as these things are done, I'm going to do another video where I'm going to show the completed. I have a box over there of granny squares that I just received that I have to put together as well. I had to go out and buy the yarn, but that's okay. With these yarns here, Linda, I have the yarn. I just didn't have any of the fuzzy blanket yarn that go with those. But this stuff here, I have plenty of. So you send in the granny squares. I either send them on to Ophire, or I will send them and make them myself. Thanks so much for watching. And thank you if you've just joined us. I hope you now understand what Project Welcome Home is all about. And I hope that you're going to want to participate, because it was really fun. And these people are amazing. And they just were so thankful for the generosity of people that they had never met before. But yeah, that's what we do here. Thanks so much for watching. This is Kimberly with Knit for Brains, and as always, I will see you soon.